Syrian rebels close in on Hama, a city synonymous with government brutality. Syrian rebel forces were on Wednesday within 6 miles of the central city of Hama, a city freighted with past horrors for anti-government forces. Syria's fourth largest city might represent an even more significant fillip than the sudden capture last week of Aleppo, the country's most populous city in the war's most significant offensive in years. Despite the map of Syria having been repeatedly redrawn since 2011, Hama has never been in rebel hands. Insurgents and Turkey-backed fighters opposed to the government of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad were under 10 miles from the city, according to the Associated Press. Lieutenant Colonel Hassan Abdul-Ghani, a senior rebel commander, denied government claims that his fighters near the city had been repelled. Islamist-led rebels advanced on Syria's fourth-largest city Hama on December 3, buoyed by their lightning capture of swathes of the north in an offensive that ended 4 years of relative calm. Anti-government fighters reached the town of Syrian north of Syria's Hama on Tuesday. Omar Hajkadur AFP, Getty Images. "We want to confirm that all the areas we have captured are still under our control, and progress is continuing," he said via WhatsApp. NBC News was unable to confirm claims by either side because independent journalism is very difficult in Syria, due to the rapid changes in territory held by different groups and repression from the official government. Hama was the site of the Assad regime's bloody crackdown on protesters in 2011 and was also the scene of widespread destruction in 1982. Tens of thousands of Sunni Muslims were killed there at the order of the current president's brother and predecessor Hafez al-Assad. While Syria's civil war has raged for almost 14 years, it had dropped from the spotlight in the years since 2020, when the war's front lines became frozen. Islamist-led rebels advanced on December 3, on Syria's fourth-largest city Hama, buoyed by their lightning capture of swathes of the north in an offensive that ended 4 years of relative calm. Syrian state media reported that the two air forces had bombed the rebels in their Idlib stronghold as well as their vanguard in Hama province. Anti-government fighters ride in the back of a pickup in the town of Syrian, near Hama, on Tuesday. Bakr al-Qasim AFP, Getty Images. That was before last week's shock seizure of Aleppo in a push led by the militant group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. Known as HTS, the militia grew out of a former al-Qaeda affiliate and is designated as a terrorist organization by the US, the United Nations and others. The Assads are Alawite Muslims, as opposed to Sunni or Shiite, the religion's two major branches, and have long been fighting a patchwork of armed opposition groups seeking their overthrow. The war is estimated to have killed 500,000 people since 2011. Gunmen killed 50 government troops as they took 14 central villages and towns, HTS's Military Operations Administration told the Associated Press. State media said Syrian troops were fighting fierce battles in central Hama province and that reinforcements were on their way to Hama city. They also reported intense airstrikes by Syrian and Russian air forces in the area. Meanwhile, aid groups warned that some areas in northern Syria were already witnessing food shortages. The recent escalation in Syria threatens to drag the country back into the darkest days of this near 14-year conflict, Angelita Kerda, the Norwegian Refugee Council's Middle East and North Africa regional director, said in a statement. Civilian casualties are rising because of shelling and airstrikes, and thousands of families have been displaced.